Hey, what's up, everyone? Can y'all see me? For some reason, I'm not seeing anything. There we go. Okay. Cool. Can y'all see me? Hopefully we're not working with technical difficulties today. Hope everyone's good. Happy Monday. Dang, guys. Looks like we might have a little something going this morning. Got this uptrend working. And it looks like we already have a second entry long up here. However, we're still in the short-term downtrend, but morning zippins. So we got a first entry there, second entry here. We can get a higher low right here. I think we might have a trade right away. Shoot. Let's do this thing. We need to see this tick lower though. If this ticks lower and then ends bullish, that'll be a higher low, confirming the second entry long, and we can take it. Definitely got a tick lower though. I'm not going to take it on an inside bar, so. Hey, good morning, Summit. Morning, Gary. Happy Monday. Hey, Gabe. Let's see if we can get this guy to tick lower. Get an early trade. Okay, we got our tick lower. See if we can turn up and end bullish here. Got my order ready, so if this finishes good and triggers, we're gonna be in this thing. Still could be really good. We have 700 ticks left, so you could get a pretty quick reversal on this bar here. 9 ticks of risk so far. That is not bad. We're gonna go to 8. The profit target, if this all sets up right. Man, this bar is taking forever to form, isn't it? And I'm not going to take anything less than a bullish bar here. If this closes below the open, not going to take it. Morning, Jocko. $400 ticks to go. Let's see if we can get a bullish bar. Not looking great for us here. $200 orders to go. Lock can still happen. We'll see. I got my finger on the cancel button though. $65 ticks to go. Can we form a bullish bar here? Does not look like it. Buyers are not stepping in. No dice. No dice. However, this next candle still could work. If we tick below and then end above the EMA, it will still technically be a higher low, confirming the second entry long, so still a chance. Again, we do want to see this bar go below the previous bar, draw in some more shorts, and then reverse. Might actually be a little bit better that it happens on this bar rather than the previous one, because that will really give us more of a break of this little channel, an attempt downwards and then a move up. So it'll actually be slightly better of a setup. We got to see if we're staying above or below the EMA though. Right now EMA is kind of holding prices below it. Not the best sign. So when we get that bullish reversal, if I should say, really does need to close above the EMA to feel confident about this trade. And if anyone's just tuning in, what I'm looking at here, we're in an uptrend, only looking for longs. And the strategy we trade here, our second entries, and along with a lot of variations of it, but that's the primary setup. And we have our first entry right here. So then the first time a candle goes above a previous one, pull back, second entry right here. Couldn't take that by itself because we are in a short-term downtrend. You gotta respect even short-term trends. But if we get a higher low, that will confirm the second entry long and we can enter there. So again, hoping this ticks below right here and then pushes up above the EMA, ends bullish, and then I'm going to take a chance on it. Yeah, there's definitely more space to the EMA on the 10K chart. True. We will see. Okay, we still could turn up here. It is looking less likely, and if we tick below this, swing low here, below the second entry long, I'm going to be less inclined to take this. And this short-term trend might even look more like this. So we may still be in it, which could explain why we are still going down. And like Zippin said, there is room to the EMA, 10K EMA. Prices might go test that first. Well, now because of that, I'm a little, yeah, so like, let's imagine now we turn up here and end really bullish. It's a little bit more dicey. I'm not quite as sure about it now. This moved so far down. We're now making equal lows with the original second entry long. And now it does look like our short-term trend, probably we're still in it. Now we see we made tick below, so this would have to be a double trap at this point. So all the people who took that second entry long now are getting stopped out. And those taking a second entry long failure are jumping in. So if this, yeah, I mean, that's not even really a double trap. That would have had to happen on the next bar or so. So I don't know. It's looking less and less likely that a setup forms here. But oh well. We haven't had a setup this early in a long time, so makes sense that we don't. The streak continues. But yeah, like Zippin said, it'll probably just set up at 9:30. Right at market open. That's been the trend. But this is a good example, guys, of a trade that looks really, it follows the rules, right? It's a second entry long, first entry, second entry, nice bullish bar, right at the EMA, right at the trend line. Why can't we take this? This shows the importance of these short-term trends. You gotta respect, even in a bullish move, this is clearly moving up here. So we're looking for longs. Everything's lining up, but these short-term trends will get you. So always draw these shorter channels on your chart, and it will keep you out a lot of losers. Got to make sure that even the short-term downtrends are played out before considering a long. And so that's exactly why I was waiting on that for a higher low, but that didn't form, so it was never confirmed, right? So when you have a short-term trend, the second entry long forms, you're kind of like, prove it to me. Prove to me that that's actually what's going on. And a higher low will do that, but it never happened. So that shows you that short-term trend was legit. It was strong enough to hold prices. Well, hope everyone had a good weekend. I had some family in town, so it was full for sure. I don't know how restful the weekend was, but it was definitely full. I had a lot of fun. Got out and did a lot of stuff. My kids pretty much played for 24 hours straight each day. Yeah, it was a good time. Hope everyone else got the chance to spend time with loved ones or just relax and recoup, ready to get after it for a fresh week. There is not too much happening news-wise this week. There's essentially nothing going on, so don't have to worry about any planned news moving the market. Of course, we always have to be leery of some sort of unexpected event in this highly news sensitive market. But aside from that, we'll just be watching price action. A little bit slow overnight, not too many candles. So hopefully the volume can pick up here. Hey, morning, Greg. Sorry you took that, man. Tough loss. Bummer way to start the week, but hopefully you're not affected by that emotionally and can get right back on the horse. I think that's the hardest thing for me to do after a loss, is approaching the next trade clear-headed and not trying to jump into everything. So if you are feeling frazzled and feeling like you need to take a trade to try to make it back or anything like that, if you're not super regulated emotionally or whatever, I would encourage you just to take a break, go for a walk, take some time. That always helps me, especially first trade Monday morning. That I would not be happy about that personally. Cool. Yeah, as long as you're able to move on and be clear-headed, it's all good. You just don't want to try to force anything, you know? Oh, it's only a first entry, huh? Yeah, I mean, I could see that because the quote-unquote first entry is just this little guy right here on my chart, so that's not much of a first entry. This really kind of looks like one leg down in the first entry. But Greg, I was just talking about this a little bit. The primary thing keeping me out of it was the short-term downtrend here. And I was just talking about how you just gotta respect these. So if you're not drawing the short-term correction trends on your chart, you really need to start doing that. It will keep you out of a lot of losers. So yeah, because prices had not broken past this, I wasn't going to enter there, and I was going to wait on a higher low confirmation. So you really want to see your second entries. This is your move up. You really want to see two clear legs like that. So the short-term channel right here being broken and having a new low, and then the second entry long forming. That's the ideal setup. This was more like a move up and then a move down, you know, kind of like a mini little like that. And that just looks more like one move down rather than, again, having two clear legs back. Hope that makes sense, but that's what it should look like visually. And so that's why you draw these short-term trends, to help you see it visually. You want to see move down, a clear break of this, and then a new low. And if your second entry long forms like that right here and is above the EMA, it's a nice bullish bar. That is your bread and butter high probability setup. You can take that every single day. So you just need it to, all the pieces to align, and definitely take some time to wait for that. It's not always going to happen just right, so got to be patient. When it does, you can fire away and you're going to have a high probability of success. Hey Grant, morning. So now it does look like we're finally getting a little break of this short-term channel and maybe a new low. We'll see how this candle forms, but once that happens, we can look to resume bullish trades, and hopefully we can get a push above the EMA. The best setup would be a failed second entry short, like so. If it sets up really nice, I might consider just a higher low above the EMA. We'll just have to wait and see. We're also, this is going to happen right at the open too, so got to keep that in mind. It's got to look really good for us to take it right at the open. Morning black in these. Three minutes to open here. I got a feeling we're going to be testing the 10K's EMA here. And hopefully we can push above the 21 period EMA on our chart and get a bullish trade, but this might be the start of a more bearish move. Who knows? This isn't like it's the strongest bullish trend in the world. We could certainly start bearishness here, maybe even have more of like an overall range like this. I would really not be surprised if that's the structure we end up getting, just to move down here, testing this area. As we didn't have, you know, strong movement overnight, a lot of mixed candles, and yeah, this could definitely be some mixed trading here. Oh, it's a bank holiday in the UK. Okay. That would explain the lack of volume for sure. All right, US market open. T-minus 20 seconds, and let's see what we got. Spicy, I just looked up on Google. I just looked up floating tick counter. I can't really remember where exactly I got it. There's a lot of free indicators out there on forums and stuff, so I just Googled floating tick counter. Something popped up and I downloaded it. That's pretty much it. It's for sure helpful though, seeing the ticks right there next to the bar. You don't have to look anywhere else. You can be ready to pounce when something sets up. Okay, here comes that new low of our short-term trend. Now let's see if we can get a push above the EMA and maybe a failed second entry short. Pretty strong push below the 10K EMA here. Let's take a look at that chart, see what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, still looks bullish for sure. And this is all kind of still within that short-term trend. Draw the short downtrend from the swing high. The break makes sense inside the channel. Great, I'm gonna try that out. Yikes, my computer is slow this morning. That's not a good sign. Yeah, you're right about that, Brant. That fits really nice. And that matches the 10K too, which also looks like we're still in the short-term correction. You know, if I would have had that, to be honest, this failed second entry long, visual failed second entry long, looks pretty nice. Right here. Slightly counter trend trade, but not too bad. You have your second entry long here that went nowhere. This is where you think you might get another push up, and then EMA is holding prices again. Nice bearish bar. It looks like a visual second entry failure. That's a pretty decent trade. I don't like taking those kind of setups because, again, they're somewhat counter trend, as you're waiting for the bullishness to continue with a break of this main bullish channel, expecting a new high. But local price action wise, that's pretty nice. Hey Johnny, good morning. I was mentioning earlier about the second entry long. The reason you don't want to take it is that you have this short-term trend in play. So that was definitely something that tripped me up a lot when I first started. So keep that in mind. Draw these, man. Every time price starts correct, draw a short-term channel, and it will keep you out of a lot of bad trades. Totally, Gary. This definitely is starting to look more like a range. We've come down quite a ways on this correction. Like I said earlier, would not be surprised if this is where we end up. Coming to test the bottom down here. But that would set up a really good buy opportunity. $10K still looking the same. This is our break on the 10K. So that makes sense. This is our break here. Perfect. Everything's lining up. Might even consider a second entry short here. If we stay below the EMA and it all sets up properly. So like I was saying about the short-term trends, always draw them. Here's another chance to do that. If we were looking for a short here, which again, I'm considering that, you still want to respect this short-term correction. So always draw those. If it helps you to do an actual channel, do that. Okay, now we're looking like we got a break of the short-term channel. Maybe see a push to a new high, and then a move down, and a new low reached on this downtrend. But we're also still seeing if we're going to get a new high to this uptrend, although this has moved quite a ways down, and if the EMA holds prices, we just may never get that new high. trying to go through my computer right now and delete some stuff because for whatever reason it's running really slow this morning. It makes me nervous if I'm going to enter a trade, be able to like move my stop loss. That. Here. Alright, I might have to work on that a bit later. But yeah, it looks like we depending on how you draw this, we might have a breaking new extreme. That is our second entry short right there. Can't take the failure on that bearish bar. No push above the EMA. If we move down here and get a nice lower high, I'll consider short. Pretty volatile in here. Okay, let's see if we can get that lower high, confirming the second entry short. Prices might push too far down here. Doesn't really look great though. A lot of wicks in either direction. The kind of action that could definitely stop you out. Oof. Okay, let's see if we can push up here a little bit, get that lower high. I'm gonna take it. I like how the EMA is holding prices. Don't think it's gonna form likely here. Just feels like we're gonna drop. Okay, here we go. This is a good area. EMA has got to hold prices. We do not want to see a push above. This would technically be our lower high. That's a pretty dang big candle though. Might have to take that. I just can't, man. It's so big. Not really close to the EMA. It'll probably work. I just can't. I can't pull the trigger on that. Too much risk for not the perfect setup. Yeah, maybe we can get a failed second entry long here closer to the EMA. Exactly my thoughts, Johnny, for sure. Yeah, not gonna happen. Pushing too far down. May have already made the scalp here. I'd still be in this thing. Nice, Black Laneys. Glad you got a win on that one. Yeah, I could take I probably could have gone for a 4 tick, but I don't know, that the risk reward's not very good on there. Good job, guys. I'm glad y'all got that one. Glad y'all got that one for sure. Got the new low for our downtrend, so maybe now we'll see if we can push above the EMA and maybe we'll reach for a new high on the uptrend. This is kind of the last shot. If the EMA still holds prices, we can just kind of bag that idea. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily the big signal bar that kept me out of it, Toad. I agree. Context-wise, definitely looks like we're making a new low here after this break. Context-wise, it was great. I just wanted to see the body of this closer to the EMA. It pushed pretty far down. If the body had been a little bit closer to that, would have taken it in a heartbeat, but I've seen so many of these that are really far low like this just get tick lower and then instantly reverse. Because technically, even the short-term trend needed, could have had a new high as well. So it just wasn't perfect for me. I'm glad it worked for y'all, but just based on all the trades I've taken, that one's not super high probability in my experience, and I would have had to risk a little bit more than I wanted to on a not ideal trade. Yeah, it'd be a nice runner there. Yeah, kind of is looking like a range day. See if we can get down to this low down here. I bet you anything we will, and probably show signs of support. Yeah, definitely looking at a measured move here. That would go, look at that, perfectly down to the bottom. Crazy. Yeah, that would have been a nice move to get in on. If you had a limit order, you could still be in this thing. I mean, depending on how deep your limit was. We do have some data at 10. It's nothing to be worried about blocking these. Yeah, it's a yellow folder event. It should not be market moving at all. Should be fine. And apologize if I seem distracted, guys. I'm still trying to delete some junk from my computer. For whatever reason, things are moving really slow. It's making me nervous for taking anything. Do not want things to freeze right as I enter a trade. That would just be like a nightmare. There's some big files on my computer. I'm going back and seeing if I can delete any of those. Okay, I think I found something. I'm gonna give this a whirl. See if it improves performance here. Maybe empty my trash too. I don't know if that does anything, but we're gonna give it a whirl as well. All right, so now we're definitely at the bottom. I would not expect like a huge bearish move at this point. With all that overnight action, this is definitely setting up to be a range kind of day. So the measured move is down here at the bottom. We'll see if prices can go test that level. That's just a wick down there, so it really could be, we could already be touching the bottom here. We'll see how prices react. We'll adjust accordingly. And if we're counting from the bottom here, we have a first entry short. Maybe we'll get a push up above the EMA and get a second entry short that fails. And at this point, since we are looking very range-like, we can start to just play the short-term channels, look more localized price action. And also, of course, we're always looking, the primary goal in a range would be to buy here at the low side, sell here on the high side. Because the breakouts of ranges most likely fail, usually do. So we're not looking for things to break out of this range and go into some crazy trend. We are looking to stay in here. That's going to be our most high probability move. So since we're in a range, maybe we want to rethink that channel that we had earlier. Perhaps it's just a series of shorter ones. You have this guy right here has a break and new high. Then you have a move down, has a break and a new low. And then another move high, has a break and a new high. Draw it like that, everything is played out. I wonder if we draw it like this too, the wider version, you do have a slight break right here. So that could explain that. Right now we're coming off the lows. We're looking for a chance to go long here. This would be our failed second entry short, but we did not push above the EMA at all. Price is still holding below that. So this is not ideal. We still might get that push lower to complete the full measured move. So we really need to just be patient here. Exactly, Dylan. It's looking sideways. And also agreed, Brant, if it pushes below here, we might have a downtrend working. Totally agree. But in order to take, oh my gosh, in order to take a short, I would definitely need to see a push below the bottom of the range and then a retest of this area before heading lower. At that point, I would trust a downtrend, and maybe we can look for a wider pattern, something like this. But right now, we're still in a range. That has to be the primary structure we're looking at. There's no real trade here, guys. So I don't know if anyone has got a trigger finger right now, but there's nothing down here for us. Nothing's confirmed yet. We're just consolidating at the bottom of a range. Maybe we'll bounce and confirm range structure, or like Brant said, we might actually move lower here. So no trade zone for sure. Gotta just be patient. That failed second entry short would have worked, but it's just in no man's land. This looks really sideways, not a high probability trade. But now that we pushed above the EMA, likely going to move all the way to the top here eventually. So we're hoping for some sort of way to get long early. We want to get long down here and ride that up. Once we start getting into the middle here, it's not going to be the best. But now we might have a push below the EMA, so this is interesting. Gosh, this is just terrible price action. Man, oh man. This is the kind of stuff that's like, why did I get up so early on a Monday morning? EMA starting to hold. So maybe have a little bit wider of a pattern here. Starting to get the famous barcode formation. Always lovely. right at the EMA2. Just absolutely no conviction here. Especially if this candle closes on its low. Just gonna be terrible. On the 10K, this looks exactly the same. Clear range structure. And also, still looks like we're in this short-term bullish channel. So that's cool when the 10K and the 2K chart are telling the same story. Yeah, I don't know if it's failing banks here. This looks like a nothing burger is what's happening. More banks are failing. We'd be seeing, you know, a steep move. Yeah, man, everyone is still, all the institutions are taking a little sleeping in on Monday. This is really bad. Price is below VWAP. That's a good note, Blackanese. However, make sure you're looking at the overall structure of the day, because again, I mean, this is pretty clear. We're in a trading range. So, you know, in a trading range, you're going to see a lot of moves up and down over VWAP. If it's a trending market, VWAP's a lot more helpful, because you can take pullbacks to it, and that's a good level to enter off of. But in a range like this, I don't know that you want to make a huge decision on it right now. Oh, failing banks like they don't have any money to trade. That's good. Yeah. Wow, man, all our assets are kind of tapped out, so yeah, totally. All right, we got a little break of our short-term uptrend. Let's see if we can get a new high here on the 10K. Doesn't quite look like a break, really. Looks like we're still in it to win it. Well, it'll look like a break now if this candle closes here. Normally, you know, in a short-term trend off the lows of the range, would be looking for a second entry long. But this is just sideways, man. This is terrible stuff. And no, Blackney's prices never did reach that measured move. So maybe that's going to happen here. Yeah, perhaps we got something like this, Brant. We're getting a break, maybe a new low here to reach that measured move. Maybe then we can bounce. Maybe you can help clarify your question, Blackanese. When what happens, and would invalidate what channel? Might get a little failed second entry long here. If it moves up to the EMA, I might even consider that. Blackanese, no. If prices reach the measured move, I will not invalidate the range. And that's exactly it, Brant. When, you know, when a new extreme is met for a channel, that just means that trend is done, right? So in this one, for instance, this is in play because it has not had a break in a new low, but we have a break here. Once it reaches a new low, that'll just mean this downtrend is played out, means it's done. And then you're just waiting to see what prices do next. So you can absolutely have a range even if a measured move is met. The measured moves are just showing that prices tend to move in twos. So when you have a big move down and a pullback, you'll often see that same size of a move down, and then that's double confirmation that this move down is all played out. And then we can look for something else to happen, maybe a bounce. So in this range too could actually be moved down a little bit to the overnight low. I had just had it moved up because it looked like prices may continue up there, but looks like we're reaching for the overnight low, which is also the measured move. So this all makes sense from a price action perspective. Okay, so now this move down has a break, a new low. We reached the measured move. We officially touched the overnight low. So this is really where we would look for prices to bounce. And I would love a failed second entry short that forms just like that right above the EMA. Yeah, exactly. Now there's definitely no reason to short. If we can get a failed second entry short, that is going to be a pretty juicy setup here, with the possibility of quite the long move up to the top of the range. Feels like failures have not been forming well the last couple of months, so I almost don't really even expect it to happen anymore. And if you were super aggressive, you could take an entry right above this bullish bar, given all the things we just talked about. That this is a new low, reach the measured move right at the bottom of the range, etc., etc. An aggressive trader could just go long right there. Definitely not my style. Maybe someday I'll incorporate those kind of trades. Yeah, Mac's gonna for sure mark that bar. Not really my thing though. Trying to pick a bottom like that. I just got burned too many times. But what's good to do, you know, even if you're not taking something, I'm noting that, okay, that worked that time. So I'm gonna, you know, next time that happens, I'm gonna note, see if I can pick it out again without taking a trade, just mentally. And the more times I see that, the more it's going to add to my confidence, and then I might start actually taking those. Open for a move above the EMA here. Clean place to pick bottom, less chance of stinky finger. Interesting. No push above the EMA there. Double test of that low there. We still have a chance to bounce here, but if we start pushing below, this is going to get interesting. And it could just be that we need 2 legs to a new low here. This was a pretty big channel. So when you get a break of those bigger ones, you oftentimes see 2 legs to a new low before things bounce. That could be what's happening here. Okay, let's see if we can make another run at the EMA and hold above it here. On the 10K, it just looks like we are primed to bounce. Clear 2 legs here. Right at the low of this range. This is the time for sure. There's our push above the EMA. Again, looking for a failed second entry short. Let's see what we got, baby. All right, Brant, or I mean Black and Ease, one of you guys. Take care, man. Good job. Glad you got a couple of good winners. See you next time. I want to see the first entry happen right here. This is all gonna work. Kind of needs to all happen right here. I need to see the EMA hold now. Do not want to see us starting to trade below the EMA again. That is not looking great. And if the EMA keeps holding prices below it, we're going to need to start looking for a bigger channel. I don't know if anything fits nice or not. I mean, I guess that kind of does, but you're missing that second swing entirely. There's still a lot of space here, so I don't really like that at all. I think we got to stick with this. Even this one is pretty big in a trading range. So I think we got to stick with this and wait for double confirmation. Zippins, that red candle closed above the EMA for you? This guy did? Yeah, totally, Brant. There is no way I'm shorting here unless we get some serious confirmation below the range. This is either a nice long sets up or we wait. Yeah, it doesn't matter apparently. Just feels like this is going to rocket up kind of with no warning. No setup, just all of a sudden we're going to be up in this area, not really understanding why. Or vice versa. With all this consolidation at the bottom, I would also not be surprised if the bottom just drops out of this thing. Judging just purely on the price action though, we should be expecting a bounce here. The day's overall structure has got to take precedence. This really has to be our first assumption until proven otherwise. yeah, always follow the overall structure until you get a lot of information that proves you wrong. The day is bullish, you are not looking for a reversal. The day is bearish, you are not looking to take a long. And if the day is a range, you expect prices to bounce at the extremes or give a failed breakout. I agree, Jocko. There's going to be a lot of people trying to short right here because it looks really tempting. On the 5-minute chart too, actually. So on the 5-minute chart, we're down on the day. It looks like it could be a bearish trend day, you know, considering that starts right about here. So that's what all the folks just watching the 5-minute chart are seeing. Downtrend. That is why these the overnight action is so helpful. Gives us a little bit more information that you know, just pure day traders trading the 5-minute chart for today are not seeing. Man, oh man. Well, I hope you all enjoy watching grass grow. That is what is happening today. This is just terrible. The kind of morning where either you just completely shut it down and go and do something else, or have something else going on in the background and just kind of take a glance at the charts every once in a while. If you're just looking at the charts, this can definitely cause you to make some poor decisions or just trade out of boredom. Yeah, guys, you're right. If we break this level to the downside, we really could get some momentum. And we just have not been able to get above the EMA, so that's looking more and more likely. Had so many chances, whether it was this move down, try to break a new low, started to get above the EMA, smacked back down. Okay, we got a bigger channel. That has a break a new low. Above the EMA, smack down. So we might just be hunting stops here. There's going to be some stops for sure underneath the overnight low. So you might see a long red candle and then a bounce. This feels like an area where macaroons would probably take a short on that breakout, catch that flush. Macaroons, if you're out there, my man, wish you the best of luck on this one. Yeah, we got several tests at the bottom here. Touch, and then like Brant saying, a touch and bounce, touch bounce, touch bounce. But then kind of a meltdown, so kind of expecting that to happen again. I just don't trust this bounce above the EMA. I don't feel like it's gonna gain any steam. However, I'm still looking for a failed second entry short if it forms nice, because there is going to be a lot of people piling in here to go short. So there's going to be a lot of orders up in here. And if this thing bounces, it can really bounce. Yeah, he probably will mark this trade as well. Again, I just can't take that, but you do have first entry long, second entry long, triple test right on the range lows. Not a bad setup to take a risk on. There's not a lot of risk on the trade, really. Only 1.5. Yeah, here we go. Looks like another bounce above the EMA and a rejection. Oof. Man, oh man, look at that candle. I got a feeling we are about to rock it here. Look at that compression. When you get those compressions, especially around a key level like this, can get violent. So I'm wondering here if we can get another move down. Maybe I will start playing this mini range. See what the signal bar looks like here at the bottom. We might be able to start buying here and selling here. Zip-ins, sounds like you'd had success with that on the last one. Problem is this could break at any moment. We've been in this compression for a while. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Breaking below. This could get going, guys. I think Macaroon's the main one who'll take those compression breaks. Oof, do I play this failed breakout? No, I don't think I do. I think this has a lot more room to go lower here. That did not feel like the failed breakout we're looking for. I think this is going to get a little bit lower than that, even if it fails. I think with all this compression, all those stacked orders, you're going to see a move down to here at least. Yeah, I think the short I would be looking for here is a definite break of this range and then a test of this level again. If we can do that, break out here, test that level, and then get some sort of failed or some sort of second entry short or something, that's a short that I would take. We're just kind of waffling around right here. No real conviction. This looks like a nice bullish bar again. And on the 10K chart, same deal. It just looks like we are ready for a bounce. Just hasn't happened yet. Dang, look at that. This could be our bounce, folks. But I've said that before. This could just be the fake little bounce to get some longs excited, and then the real smackdown. It's just so uncertain down here. really no telling what prices are going to do. Again, from like an overall structure perspective, looks like we need to bounce, but we could certainly just drop into Hades here. Doesn't even look like we're going to get a failed second entry short or anything here. But I'm going to draw this channel here. Maybe we could get a break out of this mini range and then a second entry long that holds the top of the range as support. That's kind of the next thing I would be looking for here. This does look like the bounce we were waiting for though, guys. It's like it might actually be happening here. Testing that 10K EMA. I mean, look at that. That looks excellent on the 10,000 tick chart. Looks like an easy long right there. They'll break out several tests to the bottom. Plenty of room to that EMA. If you're trading the 10,000 tick chart, that's a trade to take. Didn't quite look nice on this chart. The bar there at the bottom, inside bar, wick on the top. Can't really take that. But we may have another chance here again. Maybe a second entry long that holds the top of this range as support. Maybe even a breakout pullback. Just straight bull bar at the top here. How to know if you have to enter a trade? That is the $1,000,000 question. By the way, welcome, Colonel. Good to have you. Stick around. Stick around. I pretty much talk through each setup that I'm looking at. We are looking at for second entry longs with the trend, or second entry shorts with the trend. Right now I'm looking for a second entry long that holds this top as support. It's not happening yet. Might consider taking this breakout pullback. Yeah, super risky. I don't like all the action preceding it here. Looks like more than likely we would get a bit of a correction. And the EMA hasn't really caught up with prices. We're not really close to that, but and going straight into this 10K EMA, I don't like that too much. But you might consider that breakout pullback. It's not bad. Yeah, that's the thing. This breakout pullback would be one to take a risk on because this thing could really skyrocket. So that would be the advantage. That would be the advantage of taking a risk here, is you got all this space. There's going to be a lot of stops in here from all those folks trying to go short at the bottom. So yeah, if you take a risk, it's not the greatest setup, but it has a lot of upside reward. Brant, I kind of like that idea. New high of this short-term channel and a second entry short back into the range. There's also a lot of potential reward on that. We are bouncing off of VWAP on the SPY chart. It's right here. Pretty much the 10K EMA is what it looks like. That breakout pullback didn't even trigger, so not one you would want to enter when you get this inside bar right afterwards. Yeah, second entry longs are always counted from the top, so you'd count from here and you just have a first entry right there. But now that we've made a new high, you'd count from here. So this is our pullback, and then from there you could count the second entries. But we already have a break and a new high of this small uptrend. If we can keep pushing higher, we might have a wider pattern like this. Yeah, totally, Brant. Counting of entries is pretty difficult when you first start out. It doesn't make any sense, but once you get it, it's no brainer. And that's definitely something to remember. Long entries, you're always counting from the top, from a swing high. Short entries, you're always counting from the bottom, from a swing low. So it does look like we have this wider pattern. So now I feel really good about taking a second entry long if it forms. Hopefully we can get a move up to the top here and a pullback, second entry long, and hopefully the EMA will catch up by then. Glad that worked out for you, Jocko. Right on. See if we can get past this pullback area. Could provide some resistance. That's true, Brant. It's kind of confusing when you're considering failures. Another reason to not worry about failures when you're just starting out. Just worry about the standard second entry longs and second entry shorts. Much easier to keep in your noggin. So if you're out there and all these entries and stuff are confusing, stick with the basic stuff. The rest will come in time. So right now, just as an example, we are moving up. This is a bullish trend. We are only looking to take a long right now. Overall structure is a range coming off the bottoms, expecting to come all the way up here and test the high. So we're only looking for a long. A second entry would be like this. From the top, we want a pullback, and the first time a bar goes higher than the previous bar, that's the first entry. And when it pulls back again, the second time a bar goes higher than the previous bar, that is your second entry. That's where you would look to enter. Yeah, life's better with quiet. Nice. Have not seen you around. Glad to have you. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time. Feel free to pop into the chat if you are seeing trades or anything like that. Definitely want this to be interactive, but yeah, take care. Have a good one. So Colonel, you're going to be able to see me take all the trades I take. I'm doing it live, so you're going to see my orders on the screen. You're going to see me enter positions. It will be very obvious when I'm in a trade. You'll see my P&L fluctuating. So no, I haven't taken any trades yet. There has not been an entry for me yet. But like I said, what I'm looking for now is a pullback first entry, pullback second entry long. That will get me in. Hey Trip, nice to have you. The 10K, so the 10,000 tick chart right here, it's a higher time frame. It looks a little bit more like the 5-minute chart. Actually looks pretty similar to the 5-minute chart as far as how many bars are forming. So it's just a way to get more of a higher view of things, overall structure. Things are a little bit clearer when you have just a lot of details on this chart, on the 2000 tick chart. Yeah, no worries, Colonel. We're glad to have you. And yeah, you'll find that my style is very much, yeah, I don't watch any like other streams, but I would imagine there's probably a lot of traders that are taking a bunch of entries and, you know, doing this and that and the other thing. My style is definitely waiting for the high probability setups. So that you will see a lot of times I just am not doing anything because things aren't setting up right. So I think for me, that is one of the things that is not emphasized enough in the trading community, especially on YouTube and things, is that the fact that traders who are actually doing this for a living are not taking that many trades. for the most. I mean, obviously there's different styles, right? But I think a big part of trading that people don't talk about is the waiting. And it is highly necessary. Wait for the areas where there's a high probability of success. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm not seeing anything set up that is a high probability trade. Could have taken a lot of risks here and there, but nothing that I want to bank my family's future on. Still waiting for that second entry long to happen. Nice, Trip. That's a good idea. The 6K and the 18K. Doing kind of equal increments makes sense. I think any way that you can just get kind of a clear bird's eye picture is helpful. So I don't want to spend too much time going back and forth between charts. I really do think that this chart, the 2000 tick chart, has everything you need. Has all the information you need. But sometimes it's helpful just to kind of see it from a different view. See the candles forming a little bit differently. Again, right now, this is clearly overall range structure. Have our lows here, bounced off the high, and then we tested that same low. There's no higher highs or lower lows, anything like that. Just kind of going up, meandering up and down, clear range. So coming off the bottom, we're expecting a move up here, and that's all you need to know right now. We're expecting a move up, so we are looking for a chance to go long. We have this short-term channel working right here. We're looking for a high probability way to enter, which is a second entry long. We have almost our first pullback. And it also looks like a break of that channel. We do want to see the EMA catch up to prices a little bit. We want this to happen right at the EMA, but yeah, again, we want to pull back. Has not happened yet. First entry, pull back, second entry, right at the EMA. Later, Dylan. Have a good one. Right on, Colonel. Yeah, join us every day, man. I'm here. Got a good group of traders here. Definitely a lot of people that can speak to what we're looking for, high probability wise. And yeah, this is a solid group. So glad to have you along. Still have not gotten that pullback. Here we go, baby. Come on now. There's our pullback. Okay. Thanks, Trip. I appreciate that. That's definitely what I'm going for. I want to be real, so I can't keep up that high energy for that long that some of these guys do. It's like, dude, no one's like that. Come on. Relax a little bit. All right, so this is looking really nice so far. So far, so good. Remember, I was talking earlier, for those of you who were around since the beginning, got to draw these short-term correction channels. That's going to be big. Even though we're looking for a second entry long, it cannot happen if we're in a short-term correction channel. So that's what we got going on right here. If we are still in this correction channel, it is no trade. Make sure you're drawing those on your chart. Super important. Looks like we might get our first entry right here. Prices nearly touched the EMA and just kind of bounced up. There's our first entry. We may just go straight to a new high right here. Certainly looks like it with this bullish bar. Yeah, so there's our new high. So now, here's the thing. We had this channel working up, and according to price action, when you get a break of a channel, you expect a new extreme, in this case a new high, and then that is played out. We are no longer looking for a long for the time being. This was our chance to get a setup. It did not happen. And that's how it goes. You want to wait for a high probability moment. That was it right here. We would have loved a second entry long. That happened. Could have taken that. That's what we were looking for. But now that we have this channel with a break and a new high, we're just going to wait and see what the bearish correction brings. If prices push strongly below the EMA, we'll let that play out with a break and a new low, and then we can look to continue bullish, or maybe we just keep pushing higher here and get a new, maybe even wider channel. So that is certainly a possibility, but as it stands right now, we have a break and new high of this channel. We're just going to wait, and you want to judge the bearish correction. Is it strong? Is it weak? Is it choppy? Are prices reversing, or consolidating, or does it look like we might just power up here? So those are the things you need to be considering when you get a break and new high like this of a channel. And that will inform kind of the next thing we're looking for. Again, overall, we're looking for prices to get up here, so we're still hoping for a chance to get long. But we need to follow the short-term channels. As of right now, this one is played out, so we are in wait and see mode. But with that, I'll leave you with that, and hopefully that should give you an idea of where to proceed from here. It has been mind-numbingly boring this morning, guys. Sometimes there's just days like this. Really no way around it. Trading is not all flashy. There's just a lot of times where you're pulling your hair out. That's why I got that going. Okay. And that's just the reality. You got to stay patient, and it will pay off in the end. So for all of you who are joining me for the first time today, welcome. Great to have you, Trip and Colonel, and who else was new? Some other folks I can't remember, and then all of you OGs, Zippins, Jocko, Grant, Dylan, Macaroons isn't here, but Brant, good to have you guys again, and trade safe all. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.